So many of us feed home-cooked food to our dogs, whether it's in the form of a meal or in the form of snacks. And while most of our human foods is nutritious and healthy for dogs, there are certain foods that are actually harmful to dogs. And I've realized over the years that many people keeping dogs don't even know which foods these are. Let's start off with the first one, which is milk. Because most dogs do not possess significant amounts of lactase, that's the enzyme that breaks down the lactose, which is the sugar in the milk. Milk and other dairy-based products often cause a dog diarrhea or other digestive upsets, which is why milk is something most vets will also tell you not to feed your dog. Let's now take a look at the onions and the garlic that we have over here. Very popular food that we used to give dogs in the past, mostly as a way of warding off fleas, but now research shows us that garlics, onions, even chives can lead to gastrointestinal irritation, and they lead to red blood cell damage. Although cats are more susceptible, dogs are also at risk if they eat a large enough amount. So do avoid giving your dog onions and garlic. Actually, we have to be careful because in our Asian homes, these are ingredients that are common in most of our foods. So do be careful about this. The next item, as you can see here, are macadamia nuts and some almonds. Yummy food for us to eat. But again, macadamia nuts can cause weakness, depression, vomiting, and even tremors in dogs. The worrisome part of this product is that signs usually appear within 12 hours of ingestion and can last approximately up to 48 hours. So avoid giving your dog macadamia nuts, also with other nuts such as almonds and walnuts. Because they contain a high amount of oil and fats, the fats can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and sometimes pancreatitis. Pancreatitis is when the pancreas gets inflamed, which can happen if you feed your dog too much of rich food. So avoid foods that have a very high fatty content. Let's take a look now at the alcohol, the wine on the table. Alcoholic beverages are harmful to dogs, so not just the wine, the whiskeys, the cognacs, all of that. They can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and can cause central nervous system depression and difficulty in breathing. Sometimes they can cause abnormal blood acidity, and if it's a large enough amount, again it can be fatal. So do avoid giving your dog alcohol. Now let's take a look at the yummiest food on this table, which is chocolate. My favorite. But most of us do know by now that chocolate is highly toxic to animals. Okay, chocolates contain something called methylxanthines, which are found in cacao seeds. Methylxanthines can cause vomiting, diarrhea, panting, hyperactivity, abnormal heart rate, and very often, if it's a large enough quantity, even death. Dark chocolate is more dangerous than milk chocolate, and white chocolate has the lowest level of methylxanthines. But here's what it is. Again, a very, very tiny amount may not cause death in your dog, but if you do give your dog chocolate, even if it's a small bit on a regular basis, you're giving him a taste for this food. Something that we should avoid doing, because in the long run, if he finds it lying around, he might steal it and ingest a large amount. Many dogs have fallen severely ill because they've eaten too much chocolate. So do be careful. Another item on this table is the caffeine found in our coffee, something that we all need to wake up to. But again, caffeine is very harmful to dogs, so avoid giving it to your pet. Let's take a look at the next item, which you can see are the raisins over here. Raisins and grapes. Although we don't know exactly what the toxic substance is in these two items, we do know that these two, grapes and raisins, can cause kidney failure in dogs. So it's best not to feed your dog either the grapes and raisins as is, or even in a certain food. If you've cooked a pudding or a dish which has these items, avoid giving them to your dog. Now let's take a look at the eggs over here. And eggs, you might wonder why we've got them on the list. If eggs are cooked, they are a great source of protein for dogs. But what I want to draw your attention to over here is that raw eggs and even raw meat often contain bacteria such as Salmonella and E. coli, which can be very harmful to pets and humans. And regarding raw bones, again, if you're not sure of the source, they can contain the bacteria and they can cause a severe tummy upset. The worry with bones is a dog can sometimes choke on them, or if the bone is thin and it splinters, which is a chicken bone or a fish bone, it can become lodged or puncture in your dog's digestive tract. So do be careful about giving your dog any kind of raw food, and be careful with the bones as well.